Welcome to the Math Record. This video, I'll be covering the second part of the ICTM Regional 2017 Division AA Geometry, which I'll be covering questions 19 and 20. Okay, let's start with 19. O and P are centers of the circle that intersect in A and B, and then they make this chord. So it basically describes the picture. And then the circle have radius 10 and radius 17, and OP is length 21. Find the length of AB. Okay, so we have a larger circle here. And then we have a smaller circle here. And I'll put it like this. That looks fine. And now let's draw a length that connects these two. It's not really that straight, but it gets the point. It's basically supposed to be perpendicular, but I'm bad at drawing. And it's not really that precise-ish. But basically it should be. And then we have this line over here. The center should actually be somewhere right here. Like this. And we know that the length of this chord is 21, but this is the smaller circle, so this is radius 10. So 21 minus 10 is 11. So this is 11. And we know that this is radius 17, but this chord is also 21, right? So that means 17 minus 21, that means this length over here is 4. So if this entire thing is 21, that's 15 minus 21, that equals 6. So this length is 6. So let's split this into two parts. Let's call this x, and I'll call this 6 minus x. Okay, and that's basically it. All we did was split these parts into its consecutive parts. And then I'm going to label this as our height. And then we just need to find the height multiplied by 2 to get AB. So what can we do here? Well, we're basically use the Pythagorean theorem. We connect this line to over here, and we connect this line to over here. We get a right triangle. But what does those lines also give us? Well, that's another radius. And this is radius 17, and this is radius 10. So now we know that 11 plus 6 minus x, that is 17 minus x squared plus h squared is equal to 17 squared, which is 289. And we also know that x plus 4 squared plus h squared is equal to 10 squared, which is 100. And now we basically don't even need the diagram anymore. We just need to solve this algebraically. I always emphasize drawing a picture to understand what you're doing. Even though it might seem like it's a negligible step, it's really helpful. And then we have this, which is x squared minus 34x plus 289. So we cancel with this 289, so that makes h squared equals 0. And this one's x squared plus 8x plus 16 subtracted from this 100, which makes 84. And then plus h squared. Okay, so what we could do is that we can multiply the first equation by -1 and then add to this. So that cancels out our x. And then we add these two, which is 42x. And then cancel out h squared, and that equals 84. So that gives us that our x is equal to 2. Now we can plug it back into our equation to get our h. So we can plug into this one. So that's 4 minus 40 minus 68 plus h squared is equal to 0, right? So then this will be negative 64. So h has to be a positive 64. That means h has to be equal to 8. H squared has to be a positive 64. So h has to be equal to 8. So that means AT is h. That means the AB. That means it's twice of that. So 8 times 2 is 16. And that is our answer for number 19. And that's all you have to do. Okay, number 20. A rhombus has lengths 10 and 20. The area of the circle inscribed in this rhombus is k pi. Determine the value of k. So we have two diagonals. So let's make a diagonals. And the diagonals of a rhombus should cut it right in half. So they should be equal length. And now I'm going to draw the side length for our diagonals. So something here, something here, something here, and here. So we have a circle that's inscribed in this rhombus. So let's draw that circle. A little bit bigger, bit bigger, bit smaller, and a little bit smaller. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so basically there's points of tangency here, 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 and here, but we're just gonna focus on one part. So we're gonna focus only on this point of tangency, and then we're just gonna make a line from here to the center of the circle. Okay, so if there's a point of tangency that this is the right triangle, and we also know that this is a right triangle because this is a rhombus. So we know that the diagonals are length 10 and 5, 10 and 20. So half of 10, so that makes this is 5, and half of 20, that means this is 10. So we basically just need to find this, which is just the height of when this is the base. So all we need to do is just find the area. So 5 times 10 is 50, divided by 2 is 25. So our area is 25. So we need to find the base, which is 5 squared plus 10 squared, and then take the square root. So that's a square root 125, which is just 5 squared root 5. Okay, so our base is 5 squared root 5, and our height is also our radius. So times our radius divided by 2 is our area, which is 25. So our radius is equal to 50 divided by 5 squared root 5. Cancel out the 5, that's a 10. And then multiply by square root 5 or square root 5, and that's 10 squared root 5 divided by 5, which is 2 squared root 5. And that's our radius. So our area would be pi radius squared. So we just need to square this number. So that will be 2 times 2 times 5, which is 20 pi. So our value for k is 20. And that's basically it. Just draw a picture and it'll be simple. And that basically covers our 2 questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record.